I got a call and told me about Chris McCarthy's death. And I was really, shocked and devastated like most folks were, because he was a significant person for the college and did so much. 4 or 5 days later, I got a call from Joanne Busenberg, who was the president of the Board of Trustees. And so she asked if I could meet her and Charles Meng at Starbucks. And I said, "What's this about?" And they said, "Well, we want to talk to you about being the interim president." And I thought, I'm really retired now. And I said, she said, "Well, just come and talk to us." Talked about the possibility of being an interim through March. And I said, let me go home and talk it over with my wife. It, changes our plans significantly, but let me see where we are. But I had been at Napa College before as a consultant and the vice president of instruction, and I really liked the place. The administrators, the staff, and the faculty were really committed to learning and teaching. I told the board members that if they wanted a caretaker, I didn't want to be there. I was going to jump in and be the president, or I wasn't going to be there whatsoever. A week later, I was, I think, on the job, and there were a number of concerns. One, obviously, the community was very devastated by Chris's death. But the second thing was to try to deal with some tremendous problems that were facing the college, particularly on funding. The college was dealing with a deficit, and we had to figure out how to balance the budget for the year that I was there in October, but also to prepare a budget for the academic year 2010-11. I tried to do a lot of communication with the folks at the college, the faculty, the staff, the administration, the students, the foundation board, to let them know that a president was in place and we were going to be making some decisions. What was not in place, though, was the how are we going to deal with the deficit. And the administration and the board had been working on that prior to my arrival. Everyone was aware we were facing serious economic problems. Napa College is a very successful place. We have lots of students want to take our courses. Now, up till last year, the state was all growth, growth, growth. The more students you got, the more money you made to support these students. They cut that off, they capped it, so Napa had way too many students, what we call unfunded full-time equivalent students. But we knew we could not, it was impossible to balance the budget, and we're required by law to have a balanced budget at community colleges. We could not balance the budget without making significant reductions in expenditures. And the biggest expenditure is people. And we decided to recommend to the governing board, and the governing board accepted the recommendation to offer an early retirement incentive, because that would allow us to not fill positions and save money, to determine what we would fill selectively, and maybe fill something that has no relationship whatsoever to the retirements that are taking place. It would allow for a lot of flexibility on reorganizing the campus. And so you want to provide as much flexibility as possible so you can make good decisions in relationship to supporting teaching and learning, which is the whole purpose of the college. We realized that our services to students are not going to be the way they were because we're going to have fewer people servicing them, but we had to decide to do the best we could under these dire economic circumstances. My whole life has been in education, and I really care about teaching and learning, and I value education and educators. And by educators, I mean in the broadest sense, not only the teachers in the classroom and the administrators, but the classified staff, these folks who really work very hard to provide the best for students. Even though I wasn't looking for a job and I didn't want to flunk retirement again, I just felt I could be somewhat helpful at Napa Valley College. So I wanted to be there.